Hello everyone, Kayla here, and this is What the Kink, a natural hair channel. And of course, as you saw from the title and maybe the thumbnail as well, I am doing a review of Cardi B's Grow Good Beauty. This is the new hair care line that she came out with. If you are not familiar with why on earth Cardi B would be doing anything with hair, quite a few years ago, she started like sharing her hair journey online to get her hair healthy and all of that. Part of that was she created this. She didn't really create it. It's definitely based off of like things that people have been doing in the kitchen. But basically, she popularized creating this at-home mask that she was using. And she said that this mask is what helped her to get her hair together to reach her hair goals. And it definitely was like DIY had a resurgence. People were back mixing in the kitchen because they wanted to make the same mask that Cardi B made. So now here she is, and she's come out with Grow Good Beauty. The brand features 2 different shampoos, 2 different conditioners, a mask, and a serum. I have here for you guys the regular wash cycle shampoo. The plus version of the shampoo is said to be more of a moisturizing formulation. And then I have here the soft serve conditioner. The plus version of this is supposed to be more reparative. And then we have here the Get Rich mask. And there's only one mask, so I'm not going to say a different version of this. But yes, this is the Get Rich mask, and I believe this was inspired by the mask that she mixed up in the kitchen. However, it is a formulated product, and I am not an in-the-kitchen girl. If you formulate something, I'll go and try it. Different things. And then the serum, even though I did not buy it, I did get a sample of it. The review begins and ends with, I did put it on my curls to be fun with it, because I knew I was going to film this. But I mean, I'm not a serum girly, which is why I didn't order it. But I do appreciate being given a free sample of it. I believe those are probably leftover samples from when they were on tour and they were giving people samples in the little photo op thing. I think that these are the same samples that they were giving people, and they were like, hey, let's throw it in the pack. They didn't order a serum, let's throw one in there. Overall notes on the line before we dive into the individual products. The scent. The scent is very herbal. It also puts me in the mind of tea. No, it doesn't smell like tea, but it puts me in the mind of it. And also, if you've ever smelled the Mrs. Meyer's brand of products, how they're herbal but not like stinky, and they still have that like, this is soap, this is going to clean type smell. Probably the rosemary one. I'll definitely have to, next time I'm in the store, go to the Mrs. Meyer section and open up the rosemary one and give it a whiff, because I suspect that these products probably smell very similar to that. So yes, everything smells like herbal cleanser, herbal conditioner, herbal soap, something like that. And then there's something under it that's kind of like softening it, that maybe is like a warm type scent, but like not overly. Like something is under hinting it so it doesn't smell like the local herbal shop. All of the formulas are lightweight, and they feature this hero ingredient called fiber lace. And I actually took notes on what fiber lace is because I knew y'all were gonna want to know what it is. So fiber lace is a trademarked plant-derived proprietary hair technology developed for Cardi B's Grow Good Beauty line to repair, reinforce, and strengthen hair fibers. It acts as a bond-building complex that seals the hair cuticle and reduces breakage, often utilizing ingredients like hydrolyzed moringa seed extract, castor oil, and derivatives of that, and guar hydroxypropyl trimonium chloride. That was a definite difficult thing for me to say, but this has fiber lace in it, and there's like different concentrations of this fiber lace depending on the product that you have. So starting off with this shampoo, the shampoo is 10 ounces and retails for $14.99, making it $1.49 per ounce, which firmly places this in the drugstore category. I like to think of drugstore as things that are roughly about $1 per ounce. This is just slightly more than $1 per ounce. So that is definitely where this has a lane. The first 5 ingredients are water, sodium C14, 16 olefin sulfonate, cocamidopropylbetaine, sodium lauryl methyl isethionate, and glycerin. And that is followed by like some oils, some extracts, a copolymer, and dimethicone. So the cleansers in the beginning they're all sulfate-free cleansers for sure, but they are pretty effective cleansers. So like the sodium C14, C16 olefin sulfate, that is oftentimes found in clarifying shampoos, so it is very cleansing. And then cocoa propylbetaine is an ingredient that's often found in sulfate-free cleansers that can still remove things like silicones and stuff from your hair. I'm not too super familiar with the sodium lauryl methyl isethionate cleanser, but I do know enough to know that that is also a cleanser. So you have 3 cleansers in the top ingredients of this product, and they are the ones that I know of, very strong cleansers. And so they said that this regular version of the shampoo was supposed to be much more cleansing, almost clarifying. That is what the language has been around it. I'm gonna get to that. But it has a very nice gel-like texture. When you apply it to the hair, it explodes into a very rich lather. I felt like I could have detangled my hair with the shampoo. Now, was I doing that? No, but I felt like I could. So imagine the hair is feeling like this. You're like, oh yeah, it's very luxurious, but I hear it's cleansing. It's super cleansing. So I rinsed it, and y'all, this was not, like, my hair was clean, but it was not stripped. It was not squeaky. So I don't know if it's because of the type of products I use on my hair or what, but this was not super stripping on my hair at all. I did not do a second lather. I really feel out if I need to do a second lather or not. I didn't feel the need to do a second lather, but I could. I don't know. I was just expecting them to be like super clarifying, but it wasn't. You could probably get away with using this as your weekly shampoo if you also experience the same thing when you use this. Moving on to the regular version of the soft serve conditioner. This bad boy is also 10 ounces, and it is also $14.99. So it is also $1.49 per ounce. So it is also a drugstore product, okay? She went for a low price range for this. I appreciate it because a lot of celebrities have been going for more of a high-end angle. So, I mean, it's nice to come out with something that isn't super expensive. The first 5 ingredients of this, we are looking at water, cetyl alcohol, glycerin, cocoa nucifera, which is coconut oil. And y'all, let me tell you something. There's 2 fatty alcohols in here, so that's good. Then there is like other oils that are in here, like out of the first 5, man-made conditioners like panthenol, so on and so forth. The coconut oil haters, you're not gonna like this. I mean, coconut oil is very high on the ingredients list, so I do not recommend if your hair reacts to coconut oil or you are sensitive to coconut oil as well, because coconuts, that is an allergen as well. So I do not recommend this if you don't like coconut oil, because it's very high up on the ingredients list. Despite that, with coconut oil being so high up, this is a very lightweight formula, and I will jump out on a limb here and say that a lot of naturals are not going to like this formula because of how thin it is. I don't have a problem with a thin formulation, you know what I mean? But some girls are not going to like it. Now, I will say that the slip was very good. Now, first thing I did was, when I first applied it, I did try to just give it a little brush in one section, just because I know some people would immediately detangle the hair. I have not been doing that lately. I've been detangling my hair under running water, so I do believe that I also have a clip of me doing that as well. But the slip was really good. The slip went crazy on the hair that was not under running water. Again, that may be just due to my hair in particular. I did see some other people struggle with this formulation because of how lightweight it is, but I feel like I applied a healthy amount of it, and it did the job as far as detangling. So for the mask is actually larger. You get 15 ounces. It costs slightly more at $19.99. However, its cost per ounce is actually lower at $1.32 or $1.33 per ounce. The first 5 ingredients of this are water, glycerin, cetyl alcohol, dimethicone, and coconut oil. So it does kind of have some of the similar first few ingredients as the conditioner, but I think that, and it varies after that point. It's like, it's a lot of different ingredients. I think the main difference between the mask and the conditioner is the concentration of the ingredients. How much of that fiber lace that you're getting, how much of the glycerin and the coconut oil that you're getting, because they're in different places on the ingredients list. I think that's the main thing you would want to look for as far as difference. I interrupt this video to do the deep conditioner. I am on a different wash day because I would not use an instant conditioner and a deep conditioner in the same wash. It's just not necessary. One of them is going to do the conditioning, and then the other one is just an extra product. So here we are with the mask. Let me pop the lid over there. It looks like a lovely tub of mantequilla. My only issue as I'm applying this with the packaging is that it is too easy to open, y'all. I put this on the table when I first got it. Oh, spreading in the hair like butter. Like butter. And I turned my back because I was trying to cook, right? And I thought I had it far enough on the table, right? But my daughter grabbed this off the table, carried it from the area where it was, and was on the floor behind me, and I started to smell the smell of the products. I'm like, huh? I turn around and she got it and she on the floor with it and it's open. Okay, so it could have easily have like fallen, like she could have dropped it or anything, because she's very young. If you're new to me, my child is just a little under 2 years old. So this could have went bad. So I love the idea of the packaging on here, but I really, really wish, this is absolutely unnecessary because my hair is pretty well encoded, but I really wish that it was a little harder to open just because of that. It opens just as easy as the tub of butter would open. Yeah, so this spreads very easily. It's not super thick and like shea buttery feeling like a lot of stuff, but it definitely is heavier on the hair and thicker than the instant conditioner, the rinse out conditioner, as it should be. I mean, we're paying for a mask. Very well coated. I typically do put a little bit of water on my hair when I apply deep conditioners, though I did not feel the need to add water to the instant conditioner, and I almost don't feel the need to add water to this one. We're just going to do it because that's what I do. I feel like that made the scent louder. I feel like that made the scent stronger. Okay, and so I have been detangling my hair under running water outside of like after deep conditioning, but I am going to just put the brush to it just a little bit so you guys can see what it does. Just putting the brush to it. Yep, and it's brushing through pretty easily. And the hair is getting pretty smooth in that area where I'm brushing it. So if you wanted to detangle, and the product feels nice and like extra concentrated in that area too, because I'm smoothing the product at the same time. But if I wanted to detangle right after doing that, I could. Like, that's what I used to do, and I know that's what a lot of people like to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to sit under the dryer with a little bit of heat for 15 minutes while I let this kind of do its thing with the plastic cap and everything. And then we'll come back, get that rinse under the water, and we'll talk about how it feels when it rinses out, because that's important too. With this one, you guys are going to have seen me detangle before deep conditioning with it, and then I do go underwater to detangle with it, and it is very good slip. I would say between the two conditioners that if you're someone who does not really include instant conditioners in your routine at all, skip this one. That's what $14.99 or what have you that you don't need to spend. So you can skip that one if you're a deep condition girly. If you really prefer really more so heavy, rich deep conditioner like formulations, skip the instant conditioner. But if you're someone like me who rotates through these things, I use instant conditioner, and then another wash day I will use a deep conditioner and that kind of stuff, then I think this is worth a try if that's your thing and you do not deep condition every single time that you wash your hair. What I would like to see next from this brand. The brand is literally called Grow Good, right? So it puts you in the mind of hair growth. So products like edge control, smoothing gel, those don't to me make any sense. I think what they need to delve into is more of like protective products that you might use post-wash. So like an air dry cream or a full-on heat protectant, because they say that this serum can be used as a heat protectant, but like some people, I've watched people's routines and they do multiple different layers of heat protectant. They may use a blow dry cream and then they do a serum and then do a whatever. So like give them that kind of stuff, because it is all aimed towards protecting the hair so that you can grow good. I also want to see them dive into wash day accessories. I want to see sectioning clips. I want to see deep conditioning caps. And shout out to Threads, where I saw someone do some concept art. They probably use AI or something like that, of these shower caps that look like the thank you bags that you might get at the corner store or the bodega, because this is very much giving like, the marketing of it is giving like corner store, bodega, grocery store, whatever. So seeing like the thank you bags that are like deep conditioning caps, I would probably get one. Okay, I like that. The creaseless clips are very popular now that people use when their hair is dry. Do something like that. A turby twist, like a hair drying towel type thing. I already own one that's really luxe, that's like satin on the outside and whatever. I've done a video where you guys have seen it. Like something like that that's high quality and people can dry their hair in a gentle way, because again, like everything towards protecting the hair so that you can maximize the growth that you're already getting. Have any of you guys tried this line? What were your thoughts on it? Are you like me and you don't mind the light formulations because you know how to work it? Or if you're like, girl, thicken this up. Definitely let us know down in the comments. This is not my first celebrity hair care line. I also tried Fenty Beauty, their hair care line. So technically it's Fenty Hair, and I'll link that video for you guys to check out. And then I'll let YouTube put another video that it thinks that you're interested in. Subscribe. I post videos every week, and I will talk to you in the next one.